Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me. We had some sound troubles before, um, and I think we're okay right now. All right, so I've had to move the show back to 5 a.m., and I call it a show, for lack of a better word, live stream, to 5 a.m. starting because I've had an appointment come up. And actually, that's going to be starting in 15 minutes Eastern time. Um, but I just want to update everybody. In the show notes, I have links. So the electrical events are beginning. We're not being alerted through the normal means of NASA, NOAA, because you can see in the NOAA link that alerts and watches and warnings don't have anything about this space weather forecast. A solar storm begins in the northern lights. Suddenly, just instantaneously, a storm has begun and we didn't know about it, and it's going to start affecting tonight, the northern lights. So these are electrical events that are occurring, and and we, by what we see, the electrical fields of Atlas and Swan do not look like they're interacting, when in fact they very much are, because they are less than I would say less than 50 million miles apart at this point. So their fields are starting to react. I think that's why we see Venus so bright. I think that's why um, we see halos around the sun, and even a halo around our own sky. Not a halo, but a a uh, our atmosphere seems a little thicker than normal. So the electrical events have begun, and you can see those links in the show notes. The Atlas lie is amazing, because they've said it's destroyed, it's fallen apart. Now it's come back together again. All of a sudden, it's reformed. When Epic Forever and myself have never seen it diminish. It's just gotten brighter and brighter. So the Atlas misinformation campaign worked amazingly well, because no one really has been paying attention to the order of magnitude this really is. Point number three, the media and NASA still lie. The comet is made of ice. This Axios article talking about the Hubble telescope and these great images that they got of this, and it fell apart because the ice fell apart in the in the makeup of the comet. And I think we've educated ourselves enough that this is just fantasy. That's this article, but it's a science article. And finally, we've had independent um, confirmations that the sun is not in its normal location. It's so weird to say that, but on average, your shadow is 40 to 50 centimeters longer than it should be this time of year. Okay, your shadow is 40 on average, depending on what time of day it is at a minimum 40 to 50 centimeters longer than it should be. And towards the evenings, of course, that change is exponential. So we're talking about a noonday sun. A noonday sun, your shadow is 40 to 50 centimeters longer, depending on, depending. But that's the average we're coming up with. And then it is setting and rising in a completely different place for people that usually follow the sun. We have a bus driver who has a regular route, and she has the sunrise at a normal location. She's been doing this for years, and she knows what to expect. Suddenly, it's not where it's supposed to be. It's farther north. So I've left links where you can measure time, and with a YouTube video for you to be able to calculate that. It's actually very fun and interesting to do. And you also can measure the angle of the sun, and compare it to the documented angles that it should be at this time of year. We could be wrong about this, so do your own independent research. This is a research channel, and that's what we're all about. Comet Atlas and Comet Swan, you can see them now in the northern hemisphere. If you look at Venus and look to the upper right and upper left, you're going to see two bright greeny little things just tingling away. So Comet Swan and Comet Venus, Comet Swan and Comet Atlas are now visible. They're to the upper right and to the upper left of Venus in your morning star. So in the morning, in the evenings, it's the evening star right now, and then it becomes the morning star. So in the evening, when the sun first sets, and you can actually see the night sky, you can see Venus, and to the left and to the right is Comet Atlas and Comet Swan. I'm going to let you figure out which one is which, because that's part of the investigatory process. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm just catching up with the chats now. Thanks, Joe. Hey, Epic. Good morning. All right, I am going to close this this down because I can use my production tools and be able to keep things going on the other live. So I'm closing this down, guys, and going live in the other live session. All right. All right.